Hey everybody, I'm Adam.
I'm Stephanie.
And we're here from the Eclectic Gamer to play City of Spies. Ooh, City of Spies. City of Spies is a 2 to 4 player game where you are spies trying to wrest control of Estoril, 1942.
In 1942.
It's basically a spy area control game with lots of James Bond references. So we love it. Spoiler alert. So quick, we're going to go over how to play here. Relatively simple. So at the beginning of the game, you deal out 5 of the agenda cards.
I believe it's 5 of secret missions.
Secret missions. So these are a variable number of things that allow you, to score extra points at the end. So this is have the most Americans, have the most Germans, have the most Portuguese, have the most seductresses, and the most women. Yeah. So there's just some goals when you're trying to collect your spies. But then we each start off with 6 spies in a 2-player game. Basically, the total is always 12. So in a 3-player game, you each get 4. In a 4-player game, you each get 3. So it always kind of works out the same. It's just a matter of who's going to win what. And then you randomly deal out 6 of the 8 location cards. And they can be any orientation, right, stuff? In fact, they're supposed to be.
They're supposed to be in different orientations.
Because when your spies come on the board, they have to come on from the sides of the board. Each of these locations has a different special rule about what happens, but probably the most important thing is if it says top secret, you have to put your spies down face down so people don't know which spy it is. It might be an assassin. It might be a normal guy with a lot of strength. You don't know. And which is your favorite location, Steph?
I always enjoy the beach because nothing is hidden at the beach.
Yep. So in the beginning of it, we deal out each of these red locations are spies that we can acquire, right?
Yes.
So this one's face up because there's no top secret. Top secret. Top secret.
Not top secret.
Not top secret. Top secret. Not top secret. And not top secret. So we all know these are some spies. They're all a little better than ours. And we basically just take turns putting spies onto the board. They have to come onto the board from the edge. There are 1, 2, and 3 locations that are the priority order they'll activate when the game happens. Each board also has a number that is the order in which they'll activate. So the church activates first, and the church says you can't do any assassins there, so maybe you want to put your guys who provide diplomatic immunity there to save people from your assassins in future turns. Or not. Who knows? We'll kind of go over each of these as they come out and as we play with them, so we're going to do a full gameplay video here. But the important things are if they have a gun on them, they are an assassin, and they get to remove one of the other players from the board. It's on our little help sheet here as well. If they have 3 hearts, they are a seductress or seductor. Seduction. So that allows you to choose a character face up or face down in another location and bring them over here. That might make them activate later in the turn. If you're in the 1 spot and you bring someone to the 2, then they'll activate. So you can actually use it to bring your own people over to win things. Or you can remove people from where they were and make them not act if you move them before you. So there's a bunch of different options there. The conspiracy, which is the octopus, it allows you to look at a face down card, or look at a top secret card, and then or look at the top card of the draw pile and then replace
one of the rewards.
Reward cards. Diplomat has the no guns, no hearts. He allows you to put a white cube on a model and stop them from being assassinated or seduced. You can do that on your guys or other people's people and adjacent as well. So that can stop it. Nationalism has 3 flags. It basically means they get an extra strength for every adjacent person of the same country, yours or enemies. And then there's some people who just have a higher strength, which is the number in the upper left-hand corner here. We all start with the same 1 of each, basically. And then we'll be able to acquire these extra spies, which the spies you have at the end are worth the number of victory points listed here. Some of the really good spies are worth a few victory points. You don't want to keep them to the end, but if you can get them early, it's good.
And you can only have 6 in your hand at any one time. Right.
The spies that you retire, essentially, are worth a victory point at the end of the game. But the ones that you still have in your force are worth their number of victory points to the list. And then we get bonuses for these. And there's 4 rounds. There's some other little rules about the order of things. And these different ones allow, like, the 1 space usually just goes first. The 2 allows you to look at a card that's face down on this board. The 3 space allows you to look at a card face down on this or adjacent boards, and then there's 1 that has 4 spaces that allows you to look at another face down card anywhere, so you can kind of see what your opponents have done. But you give up the option to go first in that location. That might be important if you're seducing or assassinating.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's how to play. It should give you a good idea. So we're going to go into the gameplay video here, and you can see a full 2-player game in action. See you in a couple minutes. Or now. And we're back. So let's do the full gameplay video of City of Spies here. Who goes first, Steph?
I don't remember.
I think you're the most spy-like.
Let's start by looking at the rules for who goes first.
This is something that some people find silly, but I would love the silly who goes first rules. So gotta get them right sometimes. We don't have to look it up if you don't want to.
Roll to see who is first.
What? That's boring. All right. 6.
5.
All right, I'll go first then. So, the 1 location means no one can assassinate. The 2 location gets bonuses for British people. The 3 location, everyone has to be face up because it's the beach. 4 is +1 for Germans. There's no 5. 6 is every person rolls 2 dice and adds the difference between the dice to their character, so that you can really win on a whim here. And 8 has 4 spaces. So, and you have to come in from the edge of the board. I think we briefly mentioned that in the gameplay video. So I can't start here, or if I want to start here in the number 1 spot, I can't. I have to put a guy here so that I can then get there. So let's put a guy face down right there. And I would get to look at a face down card on the board, but there aren't any, so then Stephanie goes. What? She gets to look at my dude who's there.
Wait. That's the wrong
yes, so you
color.
Because everyone uses the same spies,
okay.
You use these cubes to indicate who's what.
Dude.
How do you feel about that?
I feel ambivalent about that.
Nice. Not a British guy, I promise. So because coming on the board edges is relatively important because of the numbers, that's why you want to put the boards down in a random orientation. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but there are 8 boards total, so there's 2 that we're not using for this round, but we might use in the future round. So that's the number 3 spot, so I can look at something adjacent. All right. This is probably a good time to talk about our favorite James Bond movies. Stephanie, what you got?
Always been partial to Goldfinger.
Yeah, the song is really good.
For sure, the song.
So I get to look at what the card on here is because I've already looked at that one. So I can look at anyone on this sheet. So, that's me. Goldfinger's good. It's weird because I feel like Thunderball is super classic in terms of all the stuff that happens in it and your Austin Power jokes, but it relied so much on the film, the recorder that they used, right? It was just oh my god, look at all this underwater footage, and at the time it was amazing, but now you're kind of looking at it and go, eh. So it's pretty good though. Goldfinger's good, and the song's the best. I think we're mostly agree that Goldfinger's the best song, right?
Yeah.
It's an important part. Shirley Bassey is where you gotta go for that. Oh, so let's go to the beach. Assassin Beach. Yep, you can look at anything on that board. Boom. So our board's a little offset here. We want to make sure you can see this. You can see our hands and what spies we had and didn't have. Hopefully everyone's cool with that. All right. So now we basically go on to resolution.
Because I get whatever I wanted to. Doesn't.
Yeah, you can get anything anywhere.
Trying to decide if anything seems super useful. The answer was no. I didn't think anything would be useful.
All right, so we start looking. Do we turn all of them? We turn them all face up, right?
You think we would have played this enough to remember?
Yeah, right. I just want to double check that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
I think so.
It's okay to look up rules if you don't remember them exactly. It's not a problem. Resolve location. This app players will resolve the location. Resolving means the characters.
Pretty sure it's.
Resolving location. Turn face up all character tiles, including the reward tile.
Yeah.
Always double check. It's cool. So, my guy number 1 doesn't have any activity to do. We skip him. And then my guy in 2 can give someone diplomatic immunity. And it has to be in an adjacent. So I can basically do it here or here, since I don't have anyone here. So I'm going to give diplomatic immunity, which means putting a white cube on that guy. Now Stephanie can give someone diplomatic immunity. All right. And then we total up our strength there. Mine is 3, 2 for him and 1 for him. And Stephanie's is 1. So I win this guy. He goes into my hand. I can use him future turns. He is an American with a strength of 1 and is an assassin.
Okay, so next is
2.
This one?
Yep. Double assassin. So, if we don't think we mentioned this, if there is a tie, it goes to whoever's in the lower square. So the lower square is helpful also in winning ties. But Stephanie goes first here, so she can seduce someone to come over to this empty square. Now, I could seduce someone to come over, but there's no empty squares left, so I can't do anything. And now Stephanie can give someone diplomatic immunity. Like, I get to activate twice. What? Cool. My total strength is 2, plus 1 for all British. Stephanie's total strength is 3. So she gets the double assassin.
Wait, that guy.
Yep. I'm going to go on to location 3. Stephanie can assassinate somebody. You could assassinate one of these guys. It might come up. No reason not to.
Yeah. So, I guess I'll assassinate the higher strength guy.
Alright, cool. So he just goes back in my hand. And then Stephanie gets this British conspirator person. Now we go on to location 4. Stephanie, she gets extra for all Portuguese. I think it counts for this one, right? Mm-hmm. Not that it really matters because you win.
Right, because I'm the only one in that space.
So Stephanie gets this Portuguese person. Stephanie is on a roll. Now we go on to location 6. So now, in location 1 is my guy here. I can change that up. I am going to lose this as of right now because I can't assassinate Stephanie's person because he got diplomatic immunity. Mm-hmm. And she's going to be strength 2 and I'm going to be strength 1. So I would like her not to have an assassin, so I can look at the top card here and replace that if I want. Now I'm going to let her keep the assassin. So then number...
So I don't necessarily get it because this is the one where we have to roll.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we'll leave it. Oh, actually, yeah, maybe I will replace that then. So I want to replace it with this Spanish guy who's worth 4 victory points and he has a strength of 3. And then number 2, Stephanie's guy doesn't have any actions. He doesn't have any activities on him. He's just strength 2. And then my assassin can't really assassinate anybody.
You can assassinate.
I can assassinate one of them because both of them are immune. So forget this guy. Diplomatic immunized too many people. All right, so Stephanie is currently strength 2 versus my 1.
Now this is the casino, so we're rolling to. You have to add the difference between the 2 dice to your strength.
So this guy gets an extra 2, 6 minus 4. And this guy, she gets an extra 1. So I get plus 3. So I'm at a total of 4.
I get plus 4.
So Stephanie wins.
6.
Somebody's going to roll here. Then we go on to location 8. So, location 1, I don't have any particular action. I just get extra for Portuguese people. Mm-hmm. And Stephanie can replace this dude if she wants.
Which I'm going to.
She looks at the top card first and then decides which one she wants. Because I'm going to win this one because I'm strength 1, 2, 3 right now.
Oh, it's the ones that are next to it. I forgot about that. I thought
4.
I thought it was just the ones.
No, it's the adjacent
square.
One as well. Yeah.
Forgot. All right, so you would be
strength 4.
I'm going to let you keep that guy.
Okay, so I got that one. So Stephanie won 4 of the spaces, and I only won 2, which means she's doing pretty well. But since, like, it's not... when we first started playing, we're kind of like, oh, man, this is sort of a runaway. But because you only get 6 people total anyway, it's not that bad.
Nah, it's been... I mean, it's a swing of 2 right now. Like, I have 2 more than you.
Yeah.
But, is that correct? I don't even know.
That is correct.
Okay.
So, basically, if I want to include either of these guys in my starting, I got to ditch a guy. So I'm going to get ditch this German guy. And I'll ditch the British lady. Cool. And then we also pick these all up. So, Stephanie did this setup before. Off screen, so I'm just gonna shuffle them up.
I have to ditch 4.
You don't have to.
What do you mean?
You don't have to keep the ones you just got. We have to ditch 4 total.
Yeah, it's just 4 total. That's what I'm examining.
The noise you hear is our cat going crazy. She appears on every Eclectic Gaming video because she always cannot go away. So this one goes.
That might be hyperbole.
Pretty sure she's been in every one.
She was in the last one, yeah.
Yeah, she was.
She was?
Yeah, I picked her up. She was being in trouble.
Oh, the monthly...
Yeah.
The monthly vlog, yes.
Yes, this month on Eclectic Gaming videos.
That one. I thought you meant every video we've ever done. I was like, that's not correct.
So we have the 2 that we didn't use before. Cool. So while Stephanie's still deciding, I'll go over those. So let me make sure this looks good. All right. Number 5, you'll notice these little yellow arrows coming from the sides. That means that you can enter from any location. So normally you couldn't come into 2 from the center there, but you can in this case. And then 7 is whoever wins just like straight up murders one of the people there, which means like out of the game, not in your hand anymore. Let me read the rules specifically because it's crazy. At this location board, and after resolving abilities, if there are at least 2 players with characters in this location, the player with the lowest strength in this location must discard one of those characters that he controls. The discarded tile is removed from the game. Is returned to the box. In the case of a tile, the player with tile located in the lowest number deployment space wins. So it's like actually, normally when you guy gets assassinated, he just kind of goes out and you're cool. But in this case, it's not. It's super gone. All right, so do you get to go first this turn?
Yes. Sorry.
Did I went first last time? Is that how it works? Double checking. Always double checking. We've played this game like a dozen times now, and like I always forget little things.
By a dozen, I think you mean 4. But yeah.
No, I played more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna try this. Are we? Do I have another? I don't. Okay.
No, theoretically, we're supposed to hand this to the first player, but that's fine. It's
theoretically, you know.
We can tell who's been discarded.
Yeah.
All right, so you did some Portuguese people. And an assassin. Ooh. All right, so first is beach. Then MI6.
Wait, church.
Church, yes. Church.
Church.
MI6. Then we skip 3 and 4. We go on to the easy to sneak into casino, cliffs of abandon, and
I actually don't know.
Super top secret. Oh, we gotta put dudes down.
I don't know. Some sort of museum. Here she says in the instructions. Excuse me, what every location is, because they all have real world counterparts.
No.
We could look it up, but we're lazy.
I'm trying to see if any of the people I got were like interesting references. I'm not sure they are. But anyway, you get to go first.
Yeah, I don't think any of mine are. I have one called Garbo, but it's a man, so it's probably not Greta.
It's a man, baby.
All right then.
Was it Thunderball where that scene was taken from?
Yeah, I think so.
When it's like clearly a woman and they just switch over and then it's obviously a man.
It's clearly a woman and then it is clearly a man. Okay.
Bum, bum, bum. Aye. Oh, right, cubes.
Oh yeah.
Very
Thank
important.
You.
Oops. You guys can see my stuff. If you're interested. We haven't played this with more than 2 people yet. It's a cool 2-player game.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting how much of a shift there can be with just a couple moves. But I think it'll be good with multiple players too. Bum, bum, bum. I think.
Okay. This one?
No. Gotcha. See what you did there. Lots of diplomatic immunity dudes on the board here. Snap. Let's go with interesting. I see how it is. Not sure why I put that guy there, but I think I made a mistake. That's cool. What ifs? Yeah, so it's interesting. So Stephanie's like kind of blockaded me out of here. So if I want to get in here, I would have to put like 2 guys there and get there, or like a bunch more guys there. So
Yeah.
and it's all because of the orientation. If it was a slightly different orientation, like if it was just rotated this way, then all of them would be accessible. So it's amazing how much that actually makes a difference, you know? I think we really want this one for some reason. Okay. Yeah, so it's interesting how it's got like some subtle little strategy to it. I think we didn't really quite catch on until after a few games.
Yeah, it took a little while.
But it's also one of those games where you like understanding how to play is very easy. So if you want if you're playing with new players, they can just go into it and do it, and then it's not that the mechanics of how to play are difficult. It's just that it's not that the mechanics of how to play are difficult. It's just that strategies there, so they can easily just start playing real quick, and it's easy. All right, so area number 1. Stephanie has diplomatic immunity and a seduction. So diplomatic immunity, who gets it?
Hold on a second. I don't remember who's who.
Good to see.
Up there.
Here?
Yeah.
All right. And are you seducing anyone over? Red Rover. She could seduce her own guys over here.
I could seduce my own guys.
So that they could go earlier.
She
could seduce one of my guys over to make sure she wins this one, but she doesn't know if...
But I don't know what it is.
And because this is action 2, if she seduces it into spot number 3, I will get to go.
Do I have to seduce somebody?
I don't think so.
Ignore all abilities on that card. It will only count its strength.
Oh, okay. I think we've been playing that wrong.
I think we did that wrong.
That's cool.
Sorry, guys.
That's good enough. So you can cancel that stuff out.
I don't know if that affected what we did last turn.
It did because you doubled diplomatic immunity and I couldn't assassinate people. It's fine. We make mistakes.
Sorry.
We keep going on.
Okay, so let's see. But I have a strength of 2.
So it won't be a problem if you brought over a guy with a strength of 3 or 4.
Right.
Of mine.
I guess I'll take my chances.
All right. 2.
2.
Oh, we're good. So Stephanie wins.
Yep.
Then we go on to location 2, where I put both my assassins. This guy's so dead.
Yay. The guy doesn't do a whole lot. So
but it was interesting because
sacrificed him.
So Stephanie camped out on space 1. I couldn't quite do too much to get in there, so I took claim to the early spots in this. Basically meant she couldn't go here without dying. So it was interesting. So I get this person.
So I noticed that I stayed away from those locations.
Yeah.
I noticed that you didn't put anything on this location either, so nobody's going to get it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Stephanie's got double assassins. This guy's dead, right?
Yeah.
And this guy too, why not?
Yeah. Sure.
All right, and Stephanie gets this British dude. I'm going to location 6. Which I get. I get to look at the top card and maybe I want to replace it.
That's fair.
He's strength 4. I'll take that guy. And then we go on to location 8. So your guy goes first. He's got no abilities. You can seduce someone over for their strength. So it would be a 1. Presumably you want to do.
Yeah, I'll
do your own.
Sure.
So your strength 7, 8.
Yeah.
I am 3. Stephanie gets.
You're like, you must really want this guy, and I was like, I don't know who that guy is. I just couldn't place in these tiles without getting assassinated. So.
All right, I'm gonna take our dudes back.
It made sense.
And so, how many did you get that time?
I think I got 3.
3 to mine. I got 2.
2.
Sounds right. I gotta figure out who,
Can you hand my other two guys over?
yes, who I would like to keep. Alright.
Okay, so these guys are ditched.
Have one of those guys. We're going to try some of that. Got a strength 4, so let's keep him. And 2. Alright. Yeah, my nationalistic guys who get points for being near other guys are not working out too well for me, so. Oh, these were 4 at the end of the game. That's good. And it's okay, we got 2 more turns. I don't know, I'll find someone better. Yeah, so like this guy, he's good if you got Portuguese people, he's got strength 1, but he's worth 4 points if you keep him in your thing to the end of the game. If you get him on the last turn, that's great, because you don't have to actually use him. Or the second to last turn is good, but having to use him for 2 whole turns is maybe not the best. And I will shuffle these up. Alright, Stephanie, so who's your favorite Bond girl then?
Bond girl?
Yeah.
Are they all that different?
Nah, that's true. How about Bond girl outfit then? You don't like the domino bikini?
Ew, I hate the domino bikini.
You talked about it quite a bit, so.
Because I hated it.
It's funny. It's not Christmas Jones. Can we agree that that's the worst Bond girl?
I think so. I actually haven't seen all the Bond movies, so I can't say.
Sure, we've seen most of them.
I've seen most of them.
We keep trying to restart it and watch them all from the beginning, and it never goes all the way. So theoretically, I should make you choose stuff before I lay these out. But
I'm not looking. Important. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm down to my last one. That's big.
I get to go first. So we have the church, where there's no assassins allowed. Then the beach, where everyone's face up. Then German hotel. Germans get pluses. Then easily accessed from anywhere. Then someone dies, a horrible death. And then 4 people can be there. So face up. Face up.
Clark Gable.
Face up. Nice. Face up. Top secret.
I'm sure some of these blue people are famous, and I just
true.
am not recognizing them.
All right, so let us start off with one of these. Assassin! At the beach. You know, where assassins go. Does this guy get double strength from Portuguese people?
Looks like it.
It's kind of cool.
What do I want to do?
No one knows. Oh. Good on the board view here. There we go. Beach is the only place where you actually put people down face up, right? The other ones are whether or not the person is face up.
Yeah. I think.
You know what? I like the Bond girl from the one where he goes to Japan. She was kind of awesome on her own.
Okay.
So I'm blanking on her name even though we just saw it.
I definitely know.
So he can diplomatically immunize people. Put a dude there. Ooh, I see. Ba-da-da. Connor is obviously the best Bond, right? It's not even
Yeah.
it's not even worth discussing. Yeah, I feel like we get a couple of these references, but I'm sure someone can figure them all out.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. No. They're right at the beach.
Yep.
So I've got 2 there, 1 and 1 there, 1 on there, 1 on there, 1 there. You can come in and mess stuff up. See how it goes. Oh, wrong genre, sorry. Alright, so we start with location number 1. I have an immunizer. That's to you. So I'm going to win this one no matter what. And that's going to go next. I'm not worried about that. You might have assassins everywhere. Or nowhere. I don't know. I am going to immunize this guy just to make sure you can't like pull him away or something.
Okay.
So I can immunize. Give 2 people diplomatic immunity. Really? I guess I could kill him so he couldn't give someone else diplomatic immunity. Just the only other person.
I was like trying to make sure I wasn't missing anything.
Cool. And then you win this one because you have 2 and I have 1. French guy. Then we go on to location 3. In spot 1, I get to shoot somebody. So I will assassinate that guy. And then you get to give someone diplomatic immunity. I think he's the only person you can do it to.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking that far.
I mean, you could do it on one of mine so that I can't bring them over to help with something, but that's not really...
I mean, me putting it on that guy isn't really all that, so I'll do it on this so you can't pull it on.
Okay. We both have 4, but I'm in the lower spot, so I get him.
Yeah, when you said really, I was like, is there another option I could even pick? Other than your own guy, I guess.
That's true. Alright, then we go on to location 4.
Which made me feel like I missed something.
Oh, I should have put it on him.
Boom! And that guy.
Right, you get German Seductress. Then we go on to location 5, where I win.
Mm-hmm. And 7.
7. I also win. Oh, I get to assassinate.
And you get to assassinate.
This one.
Sure.
And you get... Okay. You get this one. So that was interesting because we each won 3 that time, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So, like, even though I felt like I had 1 fewer things previously, we still kind of tied there.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like... on to round 4.
Yeah, it's interesting because what you win isn't necessarily going to help you because you can only have 6 in your hand at one time.
Yeah.
So, like, it doesn't mean that just by picking up an extra one, you're going to be empirically better off. Other than, I guess they're worth. You get 1 point at the end. Okay. So.
My keepers. Oh, I forgot we can take a look at, like, trying to keep Americans. This is Americans, Germans, and Portuguese are all things that you could win. Hypothetically. Also, people with seduction and the ladies. Alright, and you get to go first this turn? Yes, all that. That jazz. Alright, so the order this turn will be Ian Fleming. Nice. So we have no church this time. So we have British Hotel, then the German Hotel. Place is easy to get into. Casino, Cliffs of Doom, and 4 spots. So there's no like free diplomatic immunity necessarily. And number 2 spot, which is where you go, which goes first. The 1 is not accessible immediately.
Yeah, that's tricky.
All right. Strength was he. So again, as a reminder,
I forgot you could even come in there.
Yeah.
I feel stupid now.
I was going to say it, but then.
Nope, it was just a stupid mistake. I mean.
Yeah, so if this was a normal map and this tile wasn't here, you could have to put 2 people here before you get there, or here before you get there, or here, or this way. But this one, because you can come in from any direction, you can start here.
Yeah, and then get to one.
There. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so the ways you get points are you have 6 spies in your hand at the end after you get the spies from the 4th round, and then discard them. They all have these little medals at the bottom of there that tell you how much they're worth. So there were a couple of people I kept. Maybe they wouldn't have the most useful abilities, but they were worth more points at the end. So that's one way you get points. Another way you get points is you get bonuses for having the most of these. If it's a tie, you just split it up. So in a 2-player game, basically, is a wash. Then you also get an additional 1 point for every spy that you have that's retired. So I currently have 7. 7 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 10. Alright, I'm going to put all this effort into this, so I should probably do that. When we first started playing, it was a little like, oh, okay, let's see how it goes. But then, like, they really put some interesting thought into, like, the church always being first, so you can counteract the other thing. But then if there's no church, then whatever the first one is really valuable because you can make people immune, or you can assassinate people, or so it's pretty cool. I'm digging it. So quiet. Why do you get so quiet?
Because I made a really poor opening move, and now I'm feeling like I screwed myself for the rest of the game.
Would you like to redo the...
No. I'm just like, no, if only I did... No, I can't do... No! That's what is going through my head right now.
Isn't that another interesting thing, quirk, was like when the first place that... If the church is not out, the first place that activates is in the middle, then it kind of blocks off 3. If it's in a corner, it only blocks off 2. And so it does some interesting things.
The church is not out.
If the church isn't out,
what is the what?
Then the church isn't out, right? So you can't immunize people before assassinations start happening. So now this place, because it's in one of the middle squares, it's adjacent to 3 places.
Yeah.
So those are hard to get to for the person who takes it over.
It's really rough.
But if it's in the corner, it takes out 2. So it'll be very interesting to see how this plays with multiple players as well. It's not like if you go 4th and there's 3 people on the board before you get to go. Like, I feel like that's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
And you only have 3 guys to put out. And when you have 3-way contests of places.
Yep. That is accurate.
I was surprised he didn't put someone on the 2 space, so I can only have 1 there.
I made a lot of poor choices.
Trying to keep it close in the end, right?
I guess so. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
I like it.
Like I said, I just kept being like, shh.
Drat.
Yes. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Yeah. So now theoretically you could assassinate multiple guys.
We can replay this round if you want afterwards.
Nah, that's okay. I'm sure that other mistakes were made previously, so it's not. I don't know.
No, I can just go here. Can I? Forget it.
Oh, here I was like not trying to swear, and then
Yeah, it didn't work at all, did it?
no,
All right.
not a shock.
So I'll start at location 2. So he's going to be strength 3. So if I don't kill him, he's only strength 3, right?
Yeah.
So I don't need to kill him. But
But
there's
there's
no one
nobody
else
else
to
you
kill.
can kill.
All right, I kill that guy
Because
twice.
I gave up on trying to figure out where I could place.
Yep. So I get like Luciano, who's only worth a point. So he's actually not that good.
Yeah, I also realized that.
Yep.
I think that's why I originally didn't put something in 2, is because I was like, I don't really want it.
All right. So you machine gun all my dudes.
Basically, and then I
Nice.
could diplomatic immunity nobody, like the guys that are already there,
Inaccessible.
and then can't be accessed by anything else. I'm just not going to bother playing.
All right, then we go on to location 5. She's worth 3 points, so I think I'm just going to keep her. And no, it doesn't matter. This is like the do nothing turn.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Pretty much.
So I got 2, and then you're going to get.
And the last one.
And you're going to get 2. So it actually evened out.
I could seduct somebody over, but obviously I don't want to seduct Eddie Lamar. Don't want to seduct any of your guys over. So.
I think you got higher victory point dudes.
I don't know.
I got a 1 and a 3, so I think
now we can still only keep 6.
Yep.
And
Let's basically keep the 6 highest victory points.
Well, and then don't get out the bonuses. But
oh yeah. Look, Luciano, you fulfill nothing. Sure. I made my choices. I think they're bad choices.
That's fine.
It's cool.
Let's see. If I were to pick just the highest victory points, it would be those 6. Since you already made your choices, I'll just talk about
that works.
it out loud.
I figured that would be
I
easier
only
for the
have
video.
one U.S. person, although she's also my lowest scoring.
She's also a woman.
I have 3 women. She's not currently she's not one of the highest ones, so I don't have her in right now. I have 2 Germans, but I don't have an alternative one I could put in. I have 1 Portuguese. She's currently out right now, but she counts for Portuguese, seductress, and woman. So
Yeah, that's true.
I'm thinking about throwing her in just to see what happens. We'll exchange with that guy.
All right.
So that was -2 points. We'll see if any of the bonuses help me.
All right, so let's figure out the bonuses. So first one is seductresses. I have 2.
Oh, we're going this way?
Oh,
Okay.
let's go left to right. So Americans.
Okay. Americans, I have 1.
I have 2 Americans.
See you, Don.
Woo.
Women,
I got 1 of those.
at 3.
All right, you're much better quality than I am.
Germans,
I got 1.
2.
All right,
Portuguese,
I got 2.
I have 1. And seductress,
I have 2 symbols but 1 person.
I have 2 symbols. I'm not actually sure whether it's people or symbols.
Choose tile is a symbol. At the end of the game, the player with the highest amount of this symbol on tiles in his hand is the winner.
So we tie.
Yep.
In that case, our victory points are a wash.
Okay, we both got 2?
Because we both got 3, basically.
2.5?
2.5, yeah.
Okay, yes. Victory points are a wash.
All right.
So then, remember the ones that we are retired agents count as 1. So I'm just going to make piles of 10 here.
That works.
I have 23. You seem to have bested me handily.
Let's see, 10, 20, 29.
Yeah, I had 23, so you beat me by 6.
All right.
Good job.
Even after making some really terrible choices in the last round.
Yeah, well, you had a really good first 2 rounds, I think.
I think so.
So, that is a full 2-player game of City of Spies. And then we'll be right back to talk to you about what our thoughts are.
All right.
Hey everybody, we are back here to talk about our thoughts on City of Spies. Just a quick sort of review, sort of just a brief thoughts.
Just some talks.
Yeah.
Or just some thoughts. If you watched the playthrough, you saw that I think I had a couple of good rounds at the beginning, and then I made some really terrible choices in the 4th round, which paralyzed me a little bit. As far as playing the round went, I didn't feel like I walked away with that.
You won the 4th round.
Did I? What's determines?
Well, we both got 2 locations, and the guys you got had more victory points than mine did. I think you did better in the 4th, even though you were paralyzed by it. I think you did better in the 4th round.
It was interesting because I basically felt. Wait, how many locations did I get?
2.
2. I felt like those were the only 2 locations that were in play for me. So I was just like, I'm going to do my best to just make sure I get those 2 locations.
Yeah, you got those 2. You denied
And
2 from me. And
I was able to assassinate 2 of your locations.
Yeah.
So it was...
It would have been better off for me to put a diplomatic immunity in one of my places at the beginning to save one of the other ones.
Yeah, that's probably true. You were playing aggressive.
Yeah, well, I put those down early, and then you're just like, okay, I'm just not going to go there.
Yeah, pretty much. And I didn't even look at them to know what they were. I just assumed right off the bat. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, well, if I only have these 2 locations, then it makes sense for me to try to make sure that you don't get more than 2 locations too.
And it was good because you kind of played with the numbers and it works. But yeah, like I feel like there were a lot of layers to this game.
Yeah, it's a pretty short game.
Yeah.
I mean, we've only played the 2-player game, but even the 2-player game is interesting, despite it not being your normal like hex-shaped area control.
Yeah, it's area control and it's antagonistic. You're like assassinating people and like messing with other people's stuff, but it's not like just like I have a pile of dudes who fight against your pile of dudes. So it gives like a new neat theme to area control. Like kind of like that's one of the things we liked about World's Fair 1893 was that it was area control, but it wasn't killing people, right?
Right, but it also something about how I can come on this square and this square affects that square seems a little bit more interesting to me than just okay, I'm in this hex now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in this hex now. I like that it's short. It seems, considering how short it is and how kind of mechanical it is, I like the theming of it. I like that, like, at the beach you can't hide anything, and at the church you're not allowed to assassinate anybody, and things like that.
It's very little things that work really well with a theme, but have a huge effect on gameplay, and you're just like, oh man, this tile's here now, so it feels totally different. I don't usually get into like simple to learn, difficult to master kind of games because I usually feel like there's not enough. Like it's either so intricate that I don't feel like I want to take the time to learn it, or it's just like too nuanced, and the differences aren't that much fun for me to analyze. This one, it feels fun
this
for
one,
me to
it's
analyze.
not like I'm playing chess. It's not that heavy, but I'd say it seems simple at first, but there's a lot.
You go, oh, that's how this works. Like, and that's me, and it does it so in an interesting way. I dig it.
Yeah. So I think on the whole, I'm a fan of this game. We won this game. We didn't.
It was on your list of ones to look at.
It was like I should.
If you had played it, you would have bought it.
I watched somebody else do a playthrough of it, and it didn't come off that interesting to me at the time that I was watching it. But then we got it, and we won the game, and then we were able to play it, and I was like, oh, okay, this is like pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
I think the spy theme is a big plus.
Yeah.
I think if you like games that are like, simple rules but like deep strategy, I feel like it fits that niche pretty well. Are there any other games you like that you compare it to?
Well, you mentioned World's Fair 1893, and in a way it feels like that, but it's definitely more. It's heavier, more
antagonistic,
and more than that is. And we haven't played it with more than 2 people, so I'm sure it'll get really different by the time we get to 4 players.
Absolutely.
But I like it as a 2-player game.
Yeah.
So.
But nothing else in particular we can compare it to?
I can't think of anything.
No. We tend to stay away from sort of like direct player interaction, antagonistic, war type games. Like I take out your dudes because we end up like it's not the kind of the feel we usually like to go for in gameplay. But this one seems interesting enough where it's not that bad. Other than that one cliffs location, you never lose your guys.
And we've learned, the way that we play is pretty much, so if somebody goes there, the other person does not.
Yeah, it's too dangerous.
It's too dangerous.
But yeah, I feel like it works for us. So if you're a person who doesn't usually like those hyper antagonistic games, then maybe try this one out.
And it's short enough too.
It's short
enough. I feel like the decisions you're making are interesting, such that you don't feel too bad when you lose. Other than one cliff location, you get your guys back when, when they're moved or whatever. So
I also find how interesting it is where you can almost every game. There's been a situation where I feel like I've been losing the first 2 rounds and don't have nearly as many good guys as they do, but then just through the right placements. You're all like, I won the round. I got 4 of the thing. Yeah,
I like that you're limited to 6 because that makes it seem...
In a two-player game, it's even less than that.
No, I meant you're limited to only having six tiles.
Yeah.
So it's not like one person can get a whole bunch of guys and then be like, I take over everything.
Yeah.
Like, that just doesn't happen. So...
I'd say maybe one of the reasons you might not like it is, I think as you play this game, if you get really heavy into this strategy and you're the kind of person who wants to like memorize every tile the other person has, you could very easily get into the situation where you're like, oh well, that one's being put there, and so then that one's clearly going to put there, and someone's clearly going to put that one there, and then it becomes like almost like predetermined.
Yeah, that is
like,
kind of true.
It becomes an optimal strategy. I think that could probably happen if you play this game too much.
I think for sure, or if you just. That's just how your brain works. In which case, playing against that person wouldn't be that fun.
Right. So it might not flow in your game group if you or another person in the group is like that. So that
makes sense. I think that's a valid.
And it's not super deep. There's not a ton of variety to it. Like it's basically the same game every time. It's like, oh, it's a different win conditions. Like, okay, and then I have slightly different guys I care about a little bit more.
I don't know. Maybe people will play that differently, but I pretty much only pay attention to it on the last turn. So.
Yeah, and then like the one guy I got, Lucky Luciano, he's got like a 5 strength, but he's only worth 1 victory point. If you get him on the first turn, it's way different than if you get him on the last turn because he's like useless on the last turn. But then you got him on the first turn one time was really good, but
it was really good. Except then you spent all your time like concentrating on okay, I need to assassinate wherever I think somebody's going to place Lucky.
Yeah.
So I vaguely remember never being able to use him because he got assassinated every time.
But yeah, I think it gets a little samey. So I think that was some of the other like negatives.
Yeah, that's true. If you want a game that you can play like 100 times and every time feel different, this is not that game.
No. Anyway, I'm Adam.
I'm Stephanie.
This was City of Spies.
Estoril 1942. And
we're here from The Eclectic Gamer. Bye.
Bye.